Welcome to Fundraising is Funny. I'm Lynn Wester.
And I'm Clay Buck.
Join us to share in laughter and stories as we take a lighthearted look at the profession that we love so much, fundraising.
Because sometimes we just have to laugh at ourselves.
Laughter through tears is my favorite emotion. Take a moment, take a listen. Hey, this could even be called self-care.
Bring your favorite beverage and a yummy snack.
In reality, we're here to deliver on our promise. We're going to make you laugh or cringe. And if you learn something too, bonus.
See, we're serious fundraisers. We believe in this work, but we also know we do some really ridiculous things all in the name of raising a dollar. Maybe if we laugh at and with them and at ourselves, we can bring a little joy to everybody in our sector.
Now, don't worry. In that pursuit of joy, we won't name names, but the stories we share are 100% real life in the world of nonprofit fundraising.
Because, come on, fundraising is funny. Lynn, my dogs love you.
I love your dogs.
You in small doses.
Yeah, and I wear called covered shoes because they have heavy paws, honey.
They do. They're badly trained.
No, they're not poorly trained.
No, they are poorly trained.
No.
They are poorly trained, but they love you.
Balls of heavy love.
They are land clouds of dumbness. But all that to say, like when you come here and we record episodes and you get to hang with the dogs, like I can literally look out the window and see Huxley staring at us because he wants to come play with us and love on us, right? But, pet people. We're animal people. I'm a dog person.
I'm a dog
You're
person.
a dog person.
Yeah. R.I.P. Pandora.
Now, I'm allergic to them. I'm allergic to cats. I like cats. But they make me sneeze.
I've grown to like cats less since COVID.
Oh, really? Why?
Because all I see of a cat is its butt on Zoom. I am really tired of seeing cat butt. I mean, sphincter, catamus, all hours of the day.
My kitty's winking at you.
No. Keep your cat's butt off my Zoom. I don't put, a lizard's butt on Zoom on the island or a stingray. Keep your cat butt out my face. I'm not a cat person.
But I happen to know that you are a cat rescue supporter now.
I am now a donor to save the damn kittens. I'm not going to lie.
No.
Yes. And I will say this.
Not the damn kittens.
The damn kittens. No.
You kittens. Literally just showed me a video of kittens
muffler and whatever.
Clutch and muffler.
That
you helped rescue that you're all like proud of.
I know because it was.
Why?
Because it's the principle. It wasn't about the kittens. It was about the principle.
But isn't it in a way? That isn't in a way. Okay, so what we're talking about.
And I don't care if it was wombat rescue.
What we're talking about is, again, Lynn and I both probably spend way too much time on LinkedIn, but there's some great stuff that happens. And yeah, okay, there, not to mention daily things that I
imposters.
Say to Lynn and go, what the heck is this now? But there are also really great things that come up, like
Will Zweigert, the executive director of Flatbush Cats. And we're going to post on the show notes a photo of the LinkedIn post that got me to donate to Flatbush Cats.
Yeah.
So I'll read the post and then you guys can follow along. I don't know Will. I've never met Will. Have you ever met Will?
Well, I hadn't before this, but we've connected online and talked online, and I got a lovely note from his team.
Okay, so this post came about, and now I'm a cat donor. I mean, seriously.
Me too, actually.
I'm not a cat lady.
I don't even live in New York.
No.
Not
anymore. So Will wrote on his LinkedIn, today I wrote my first big check to a donor. And that immediately caught my attention. Yep. And it says in parentheses.
Good.
Good opening line, Will. Good job.
Got a hook. Nicely done.
He says, usually it's the other way around.
Yep.
They made a deeply inappropriate comment to one of our team members and then dug in their heels when I called it out. Tough place for a lot of us, especially considering the power imbalance that donors have over many of our organizations. He said, so I wrote them a check for the remaining balance on their grant, $28,860. And I told my team they'll never have to speak to this person or deal with this organization again. And at this point, I am like, hell yeah, Will.
Oh, you and 130 other people on LinkedIn?
83 reposts, 2,264 other people liked or applauded it. Yeah. He goes, now we need to raise that money a second time to fund some exciting programs, and we will. And I'm like, oh, get out of the way, Will. I've got a credit card.
At that moment, that is the moment that I went to his website.
Literally. Yeah. I clicked on it.
I didn't even finish the post.
Nope. I clicked and I was like, oh, you're not going to raise that $28,000 alone, Will.
Right.
He says, I'm so grateful that Flatbush Cats is in a position to only partner with funders who share our values and trust us to invest where it's needed most. At this point, I'm entering my credit card information on my $100 donation, and it's asking if I want to make it monthly. And I'm like, you can't do that. You need to just once for the kiddies. Once, but I'm really doing this for Will. And so it came to the slot that said, do you want to make this in honor and memory of someone?
Same.
And I wrote, go, Will, go. I support you, I'm here for you. And he says, but most of the nonprofits this organization funds believe they can't say no to this person. And that's really effed up. His words, not mine, but I'm right there with you, Will. There's an extreme power imbalance in this sector designed to keep us small and limit our impact. The good news is that nonprofits have much more leverage than we realize. Of course, we need resources to meet the mission, but funders need us to create impact. So let's stop tolerating inappropriate behavior and paternalistic philanthropy models that center power among a few folks. And I am here for that. So, but I donated. I know Clay donated. Honestly, shared it.
I think Will might be the only executive director that we have listed by name, the only organization that we have specifically listed by name, because we were both just cheering Will on, and so were so many of our colleagues online.
I am waiting so Flatbush Cats is the organization. We're going to put the link, and hopefully, even if you give $5 to support Will and his big decision, because that took a lot of gumption for him to write that check.
That could not have been easy.
But I bet it was an easy decision for him, because it sounds like he's a stand-up guy. Now, you don't have to give, but you need to understand what this means when we return money to a donor, when donors do things that, that aren't funny, right? And we have to understand that this is empowering. And you know what? He's probably got his staff for life. Like, I would work for him. Oh, I'm like, Will, you need some free consulting. What you need, Will? Like, I don't even like cats. That's what the name of this episode is. I don't even like cats.
I wanted to name it, but she doesn't even go here.
Yeah, she doesn't even go here. So Clay, what you looking at?
Well, I'm looking at. I pulled up, because as you were talking, I pulled up the automated receipt that I got from the donation that I made. Now I love automated receipts. They're great. They're immediate. They fill right. They don't suffice overall. That you need to send something afterwards as well, because we expect it, but. Like, how often do you read your Amazon notifications or anything that you do online and you get the immediate notification? We don't read them. But, it caught my eye because of the power of the message and what brought me to give. And listen to this. Thank you for your gift. We're incredibly grateful for your support. Your kindness and generosity is helping more cats receive the love and care they deserve. Thank you for joining us on this mission. Boom! I mean, straight to the point.
3 sentences
simple.
Full of emotion, and they're killing it. So
and primes my identity right there up front.
Of course.
Your kindness and generosity. I am a kind and generous person. Thank you for realizing that.
You are? You are!
To people I don't know.
Yes. And then I got this email that says, meet Clutch and Muffler.
I cannot handle
And he says, Clutch and Muffler were living in an auto body shop after their mom disappeared. I'm like, oh, that sounds like my dad. Although the kind employees fed and cared for them.
Your dad disappeared, or your dad lived in a muffler shop?
My dad's mom, he went to school one day and she never picked him up from school. Same as Clutch and Muffler, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mom went out for kitty groceries and never came back to the auto shop. I love this, though. Although the kind employees fed and cared for them, they knew these little ones deserved a better life. Now I'm attached to Clutch and Muffler.
You should see the video, y'all.
Oh, thanks to you. Thanks to you.
Like, these kittens are just crawling over and licking the faces.
Thanks to you.
And I'm getting association allergies.
But listen to this. We were able to rescue these tiny kittens and find them a loving forever home. Now they're living the good life with all the head scratches and snuggles they deserve.
Yeah.
Which for me isn't many, but for cat people is a lot.
Yeah.
Right. But we're finding more cats like this every day. Join us as a monthly sustaining supporter to give more cats a second chance. Your monthly donation covers it all. Rescue, affordable vet care, pet ownership. To show our gratitude, we're sending a special postcard each month to everyone who becomes a monthly supporter. Watch the video, and it's there in the muffler shop, And thank you for making more of these happy stories possible. Can I count you in? Will, I can't be giving the cats every month. I can't be doing it, but you got me close with muffler and clutch. I care about them all of a sudden. You know what else I care about, Clay?
I imagine it's going to have something to do with kitty snacks.
I was going to say, what are they feeding Clutch and Muffler?
What are they feeding Clutch
Are they getting those little, those dainty little packets that you pull back?
God, I love those.
The Caesar
those
commercials, and then you open it and it smells like something died. And the cats are like, yeah, dead bodies.
I wouldn't know about that.
You've never smelled cat food, wet cat food?
It's
moist?
No, I try not to remember it. Really try
never
not.
Cracked a can of that stuff?
No.
So we're going to go get some non-canned food, and we'll be right back.
Not me on my phone looking up car-themed snacks to try to insert a pun here.
Are you still looking at car-themed snacks?
Oh, no, I've moved on.
Oh, okay.
Spend all your time waiting for that. Isn't that what we have to do with animal organizations? Sing Sarah McLachlan?
No, not so much.
Okay.
Dolphins during a hurricane, riding a monkey, with Sarah McLachlan in the background with one flipper kind of limp,
Sadness.
But what we're talking about today is this guy named Will at Flatbush Cats. Say that 3 times quickly.
I'm not going to.
Okay. Flatbush Cats, and how he made the decision that when a staff member was disrespected by a funder, a donor's organization, that he wrote them a check for the money back, even though they probably needed that $28,860. So if you have it in you, give to Flatbush Cats so that Will can get his money back, but also
Champion
There's
so much to unpack here. There's really so much to unpack.
Ooh, let's unpack it.
And again, championing Will's courage and strength, and then posting about it, right? Posting about it publicly on social media. Mm-hmm. And really, it didn't come across to me as self-serving or self-promoting or like I did this thing. It was just contributing to the ongoing dialogue that is happening and has needed to happen about donor dynamics and all of that. So there's that element.
And let's be clear, not all donors are bad people. Not all funders say or do bad things.
No.
We love generous people.
Yes.
But in this instance, Will walked the walk.
Will walked the walk. And so 2 things that I really want to point out. The first is prioritize people. People. This is business 101. It's been said forever, and yet somehow we still don't quite get it. That if we prioritize people over profits, people over procedures, people over, right? People win every time. Secondly, it is not lost on me that this post occurred the same week as that post we did a podcast on from the fraternity brothers at UNC, by the frat bros,
a party, a rager,
a beer, right? A rage. This is on the other side of that,
of course,
right? In the same kind of post. It literally happened like 2 days, and the overwhelming response from our community. Right, from the fundraising from the nonprofit community, but the overwhelming response I still come back to
is generosity.
It's generosity, it's kindness. These are the things that win. It's genuine caring. These are the things that win every single time. He touched on our emotions. He touched on who we are as our identities as people, as fundraisers, as nonprofit, as caring people, and I don't even like cats.
But you know what he touched on for me?
But it's
he touched on for me. I'm an Enneagram 8, so if you want to look up the Enneagram, a lot of people are into. It's like,
I'm a 2. Do you need a hug?
No, but I'll take a milkshake. And we'll tell that story someday. But I'm an Enneagram 8, so for me, justice and fighting for what's right, especially when it comes to other people. So I'm a principled person, but I will stand on principle.
You are a principled person, though.
Well, thanks. But I if you are hurting someone or there is an injustice, I am here. Like, I will fight to the end for those that are being wronged. I will point out.
You do. It's true. It's true.
Especially for me in the DE&I space, I'm a big advocate, and I walk the walk when it comes to that as much as I physically can and mentally and spatially can, knowing though that I also carry bias with my walk.
Yeah.
I carry bias for Will. That a funder ever said something to a staff member. And it's interesting. I've spent most of my career in higher education. And so many times I've heard, well, we're going to have the students with the donors, students being university students with the donors, and they're going to have a meetup. And they're going to have a reception, or they're going to have a luncheon. God, nobody needs that word ever again. Luncheon. We're going to have a luncheon like it's 1910 and we've been invited over to the Vanderbilt's house. But so we're going to have a luncheon, and I constantly hear, who's going to train the students?
Right.
And I'm like, who's going to train the donors? Because I have been to so many of those. And honestly, when a recipient meets a donor, there is magic. When a beneficiary and a donor connect, especially over something they have common ground. My family and I have an endowed scholarship at the University of South Carolina, my alma mater. Go Cox! I can say that because that's literally the mascot.
The dogs.
Number one women's basketball national champions. Them. And when we get to meet the recipients of our support, it never fails to miss on me that that's a privilege that I get to receive. And usually the recipient is like, wait, you're a girl. And I'm like, I am. And they're usually like, and you're in like a t-shirt and jeans. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm a normal person and I don't like clothes, like formal clothes. Like, and here's my mom and dad, and they're going to embarrass me in the next 30 minutes. So buckle up. It's going to be fun, and like, it's a privilege to get to meet the students that benefit from our support. But 9 times out of 10, when I've been in those spaces, it's the donor that is embarrassing, not the student.
I'm not laughing at that, but I know exactly what you mean.
I've had donors say some awful things to students. And so I can see, I even taught a training, and I still teach trainings around how to deal with when donors say inappropriate things, right? But so I'm here in principle to say to Will, yes, give that money back. And the money will come from somewhere else. It will always.
I can't speak to Will's budget. I can't.
Right, I can't either. I have no idea how significant that $28,860 is. But I know I also don't have $28,860 to give him.
I have
until I go to the penny slots tomorrow.
I have been in situations, right, where I know the decision has been made because that $28,000 meant we didn't make payroll. Right. So sometimes, right. But why are we even in the situation? That's the problem, right? The problem is, why do these things even continue to happen? And can we look at ourselves in some way to look at where we are perpetuating, where we might be promoting it? Honestly, what I'm thinking of is, I mean, when I came up, my first fundraising job was in 1990, and it was anathema to anathema. I know, good, right?
Bless it.
It was, look that up in your Funkin' Wagnalls. It was, and if you can name that show, pop that comment into the, right? If you can name that without Googling it, look that up in your Funkin' Wagnalls, then you and I are of the same age, and we are of the same people.
It's like Strunk and White.
I will look forward to anybody who posts and gets it first. And
we'll get you some swag.
We'll get you some swag or something. Anyway, I was brought up into this sector in the, you put on your suit, you looked appropriate, you quote unquote appropriate.
What is appropriate?
You dressed up. I mean, I'm working in shabby offices where we literally have bugs and
dripping ceilings
and carpet that's frayed, and we're using, ancient technology that, basically there's somebody scribbling every time, there's a group of monks in a room scribbling every time we need to make a copy, right? Like, but we're putting on a suit because a donor is here. This work that we do is about real people and real situations.
Humble real people.
And I do one of the things that I love about how fundraising is evolving is, well, you know this, we were at a conference here. This is the best way to demonstrate the point that I'm trying to make. We were at a conference together, And I have only recently stopped wearing suits to conferences, which was a hard transition for me. Then I transitioned out of ties and dress shirts into sport coats, right? And now I've just completely foregone the sport coat. Lynn had me wear a t-shirt, and it was hard.
Fundraising is funny t-shirt.
It was hard for me to do. I love that we're evolving into a world where we're getting a little more real. We're not expected as much, right, to dress up and be somebody we're not. But that's one of the things that I love so much about what Will brought forward with this is the realness, the championing of people.
Living your core values.
Living values, right?
And not having values that change based on who you're in front of.
Right.
So he had a core value, and it didn't matter if that was a donor. I'm sure if that was a staff member that said that, he would have been like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
He just strikes me as the kind of leader that would do that. Yes.
Yeah. So, that's
tough conversations,
and we're here for it. And so I think when we think about the punchline and what is the message behind it, you can say no. You can stand on principle. You can be thoughtful and kind, and you know what I mean? So,
I think the thing that surrounds this too, that is touching us so much, is that in addition to this stand and this approach that Will took, there's good storytelling around it, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I think, I can't speak for him, don't know him, have never met him. But I think making that decision, he had to be confident knowing that his message was strong, his cause was clear, and that they will work to find a new way forward from that. And when you're out there sending videos about Clutch and Muffler, like, bring it on. Bring it on.
And I'm so here for that. And like, I if we get an update before this episode airs, I want to reach out to Will and be like, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? And see if they raised that money and, how we can further support him and all of you in the nonprofit space, because
all of our colleagues are standing up and making hard decisions and having tough conversations and telling good stories throughout it. And it's tough work. We keep saying this week after week, right?
It's not hard. It's hard, and nobody gives you a medal, right?
It's hard, and it's literally impossible
from our intro. Right. And so we're here for that. If you have a story where maybe you've had to have a crucial conversation with a donor, or turned down a gift, or held somebody accountable for something they did or said, especially if it's a donor, we you can talk to us anonymously at fundraisingisfunny.com. We're here for you, and we hope to see you on the airwaves, on the pod waves.
Airwaves, what are we, like WKRP?
WKRP, yeah, we're 1994.
God is my witness, I thought church. I am Gen X all over the place today. On that note,
y'all have a great one. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, everybody.